back to another video on my channel, and today I'm gonna be talking about, I'm a little stuffy, bro, so excuse that. But today I wanted to talk about how age is literally the craziest social construct, and how you really, as a person navigating your life, you have to reject what society places on you when it comes to age. And I feel like I've done this really well throughout my life. I'm 29 right now. I turn 30 next month, which is crazy to say. And I feel like your 29th year is, you're basically just counting down the months until you're 30. But again, think about it, 30 means you've been in this world for 3 decades. And I just like want to put that into perspective. I'm gonna say that again. 30 means you've been here for 3 decades. Through 2 of those decades, you were figuring out, or 1 of those decades, you were figuring out quite literally how to even be a human, 1 through 10, which is insane. And then, you know, your teens and your 20s, you are figuring out like what this life thing is about for real. Like you're literally not even scratching the surface on what life is, because you don't even know who you are like throughout those ages. You can have a concept of like me, for example. I feel like from a young age, I kind of at least bare minimum knew like where I've always had the blessing of having direction in my life, which again, a lot of people waste a lot of their life in not having direction. And that's why I think they look at these age like constructs from a different perspective, because again, throughout their life they have allowed society to define what each year or decade has to define. And I'm here to tell you that you are literally the one that defines what's gonna happen in any of those decades. I think when I was walking into like my 20s decade, for example, which is what I'm wrapping up right now, when I was walking into my 20s, I just knew that it was gonna be a transformative time, because of, you just go off of what people tell you. And a lot of the adults that were around me during that time, in my education or just like in personal life, my aunts, my parents, you know, it's like they had a very different definition of what your 20s looked like. And I think for them, because they did things such as getting married and having children early on, they kind of were always telling me to make sure I had a degree, make sure I went to school, make sure that I was like elevating myself in whatever capacity. And so I always just kind of took that with a grain of salt, but I just knew that going into my 20s, it was going to be really like a transformative experience. But honestly, to each their own, because I'm telling you guys, there's people out here that are literally bums at 21, at 25, at 32. Like age is a social construct, bro. It does not matter. And so obviously it matters on a physical capacity. You're not going to be able to do what you were able to do at fucking 21, at 51 or 61. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously it does affect physiologically in that capacity, or physically, you know, like we obviously can't turn back the hands of time on that level. But what I'm saying is like this concept, for example, that 30 is old, that this is old, that this is old. Like as I get older, it's like, it's all about perspective at the end of the day. And if you haven't even lived enough to see like what life even looks like, all I have to say is if you think 30 is old, wait till you get there. Because that's the biggest thing. Like you will not understand until you get there. And the other thing too that I will make abundantly clear, it is important also like how you take care of yourself moving forward in throughout your life, which is, I feel, where people miss the mark. Because there's a lot of stuff that physically, like I said, your body's gonna hold weight differently, your body's gonna retain water differently, your hormones shift if you're a woman. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens as you age. And so if you do not take like initiative and eat the food that you need to be eating, and exercise how you need to be exercising, and drink the amount of water you need to be drinking, like you will age horribly. And if you're drinking alcohol excessively every single day and you're not necessarily taking care of yourself, like that is going to show up in your skin, in your face, all these different things. And so for me too, it's been a very interesting experience. And this is another reason why I wanted to talk about this, because again, like, age is such a interesting concept, because for me personally, I don't know if it's the way that I've carried myself. I've been told that previously, like, but throughout my life, I can remember like just always being told that, oh, you're so mature for your age. You're so mature for your age. You're so mature for your age. I heard that throughout my entire life. And also too, like, you even look more mature. Like, there's different facial features or different things that make you look a bit older than what your age is. Because you guys, I used to sneak into like bars and shit when I was like 19, 18 years old with my sister and stuff, because she's like 3 years older than me. And I, you know, it's like I was able to get through like no other, because I always looked the part. So it's been very interesting to get older, because now it's like and again, you will get like, some people think that you look way younger. Like, I get that a lot, that I look younger. And then I've gone 24, I've gone all ages in between. So, and that's what I'm saying, you cannot like cling to this idea that your age somehow like translates to something about you. Like, I honestly, it's so funny like to see, well, not funny, it's actually really sad that like you'll meet people that are older, like way into their 40s and their 50s or even their 30s, like, and they're so deeply insecure about their age. And it's really sad, because in my opinion, that's you conforming to whatever society like expects of you at that age. Like, I just feel like you should always be wanting to look at your best self, but I think that every single age and every single decade of your life, like, is showing something different of you, like, should be valued. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not meant to just be an embryo our whole life. Like, we are allowed to evolve, we're allowed to get older. Wisdom comes with age. Like, a lot of beautiful things come with age. So I really want people to understand, and I'll end on this note, do not allow society to define what age is for you, because if you internalize that, you will feel like shit about you. And I've seen that even in my 20s. Like, I've heard people, you know, say the conversations of like, oh my god, I'm 27, I'm so old. Oh my god, I'm 25, I'm getting old. And it's like you're internalizing that. You're accepting what society's telling you. You only feel as old as you feel. So, you know what I'm saying? Because as far as I'm concerned, I feel great, look great, like, feeling stellar. And I just think that I would hope that everybody feels that way at whatever age. Like, don't allow society to throw these social constructs onto you, because then you internalize them, and in return you feel like shit about yourself. And that's what they want. They want you to feel like shit about yourself. So do the opposite. Feel good about your age. Be positive about your age. Allow yourself to continue to live, and most importantly, appreciate life every single day, because living life is a blessing. And I will say that if you're a piece of shit and you don't treat people right, you will age terribly. And that's just facts. So just be a good person. Aside from age, be a good person, and you will age beautifully.